Hello future officers, I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. So another day, another video, another topic that we will be decoding today. The topic is freshwater allowance versus the dockwater allowance. But before decoding, let me quote you Winston Churchill, who once said, "Success is stumbling from failures to failure with no loss of enthusiasm." With this enthusiasm, let's start decoding what freshwater allowance and dockwater allowance is. We'll understand what it is. So the freshwater allowance and the dockwater allowance, the game revolves around the word known as water density, and with water density comes why water density matters. Water density is actually so important because it determines how deep a ship will sink. For one density like 1.025, it might not sink that much with the same weight, but for the freshwater it might sink deeper because of less density. Right? Density is actually like, for example, if I take a bowl of water, if I have an empty bowl of water and I have in the other bowl I've put pebbles into it. So if I place something, the chances of going deeper will be in the empty one because there is no obstruction. But whereas with the ones in the pebbles, the chances of it going deeper is less because it has got pebbles. Likewise, with the fresh water, it's like crystal. With the fresh water, it is crystal clear. So since there is no much obstruction, the ship will sink deeper in this case. But since it has got salt into it, in the salt water will have salt into it, the sea water generally, so it will have salt particle like this. So these salt particle will give more buoyancy, more push upwards. So with more push, the ship will sink less deeper in this case. So now you understand why density plays an important role. It determines how deep a ship will sink. Now you can go through this point. It says denser water provides more buoyancy, as I said, because of the salt particles. Ship floats higher, less draft for same displacement. Okay, you might have same displacement. You might have 20,000 tons, but in fresh water the ship will go deeper, and in the salt water the ship will go higher. Likewise, if I am on in a density of 1.025, my ship is in the sea water, but now it goes to 1.015 density, ton per metric cube, okay, ton per meter cube, it goes into this. So now, since this has a lesser density, that means it will have lesser particles that will give more upward force. So the ship will sink deeper in this and not in this. But if I have some density like 1.035, it will go deeper in this case as in comparison to 1.035 because of the value, and it has more density, more particles to push ship upwards. So likewise, as I said, less dense water provides less buoyancy, ship sinks deeper, more draft for same displacement. Okay, it's just a random statement you can go through. I'll post the PDF in our Telegram channel, Decoded. Do join that. Freshwater allowance. What is freshwater allowance? Freshwater allowance, if I have to explain it into a simpler terms, as I said, if in case, let us consider this as the water line, okay, this finger as water line in salt water. So once this ship is going in salt water, the ship is sunk to this level. This finger of mine, the ship is sunk to this level. Okay, now since with the same displacement, now she has gone into the fresh water, and I said in fresh water the ship will sink deeper. Now the ship has gone to this depth. From this depth, she was initially this deep into the water because of the change of density, that is from 1.025 to 1.001. So it will go deeper because of less force that will push up the ship. So what is freshwater allowance? It is actually the sinkage or the rise of the ship while it is going into the fresh water or coming from fresh water to salt water. Initially she is coming from salt water to fresh water, that in that case she'll sink, and when it is going from fresh water to salt water, she'll rise. So that rise of millimeters or of centimeters, that is freshwater allowance. If you go to the definition, Freshwater allowance is the amount by which the mean draft of a ship changes when she moves from salt water to fresh water. She'll sink in this case when going from salt to fresh, as I said, because of the density, or vice versa at the same displacement. Okay, FWA is measured in millimeters or centimeters, as I said, found in hydrostatic tables or stability books. Sometimes listed on load. This is something additional. This is fixed value for change between 1. Okay, in freshwater the value is fixed from 1.025 to 1.025 ton per meter cube to 1 ton per meter cube. Now what it is? In salt water, ship floating at certain draft with specific cargo load. Now consider you are on board ship and your ship is loading in fresh water at a certain draft at a displacement. Okay. Now she moves to fresh water. Same ship, your ship has gone into the river passage, which is of fresh water. Same ship, same weight transferred to the fresh water. Now what will happen? Ship sinks deeper. Less dense water, increased draft, FWA value. That means that increase in draft in millimeters or centimeters is the freshwater allowance. I hope you understood freshwater allowance. If you have any doubt, please comment down. Now, what is dock water allowance? Dock water allowance is not something very different from freshwater allowance. It is still the same, but since in freshwater we had fixed values of 1.025 and 1.025 and 1 ton per meter cube. In this case, in dock water allowance, we have got 1.025. We generally take 1.025 ton per meter cube. We don't take this in dock water allowance because ships don't sail in fresh water, they sail in salt water. And some random value between these two, it could be 1.013 ton per meter cube. So it is still the same. It is the rise and sink of the ship when it goes from one density to another, but it is like a middle value. It will not stay constant. The FWA is given in the booklet of a stability booklet of a ship, but the dock water allowance, that is the DWA, is not given in the ship's booklet, because the freshwater allowance for, like, if there's some displacement of 4,000 tons, okay, 4,000 tons of the ship, she will have one type of freshwater allowance. That is a fixed value, a calculated value. But since she is going into a known depth, known density 1.00, but we don't have dock water allowance because there could be multiple densities. So we cannot mention each and every density into the dock water allowance. So with the help of freshwater allowance, we interpolate and we find the dock water allowance. Okay, so it is nothing. It is same as freshwater allowance. When the ship is going from a higher density from 1.025 ton per meter cube to a density of 1.015 ton per meter cube, it will go down, and once she is coming from 1.015 to 1.025, she'll come up. And this middle density 1.025 and all, it is because of the port operations and all, the density changes. Okay, it is already, it's not dock water. Many ports and rivers have brackish water, neither pure fresh water nor pure sea water. The density falls between 1.00 and 1.025, creating a need for intermediate correction. As I said, the value is not exactly 1 or not exactly 1.025. So what is dock water allowance? Is the correction to the draft required when a ship is floating in dock water of intermediate density to determine what her draft would be in standard salt water. If you have confusion what this thing is, it is simple. It is just telling that in port you are in a dock water, okay, at some density, you load some amount of cargo on board ships. So while you are loading cargo, you would know that your ship will rise because of the density from 1.015 to 1.025, or from any density 1.018 to 1.025, your ship will rise. So the maximum limit that a ship can be loaded is her summer draft. So what you'll do is you will calculate how deep should I load the ship. If I am getting you clear, how deep should I load the ship, okay, how much deep should I load this ship with cargo so that once this is dog water, and once she goes into salt water, she'll come to her summer load line. It's not exactly summer load line, but summer load line is the safe loading mark for a ship at in salt water. Okay, so it is, if I have made myself clear, that you might have loaded at some draft. It might not be summer load line, it might be deeper than that. Okay, but you know that once your ship goes from dock water to salt water, she'll automatically rise up to the summer load line, which is the safe limit for ship to sail properly. So this is dock water lines. Okay, it is an interpolation calculation. You interpolate and you find the dock water lines, how much deep she'll go more, how much she'll rise. Okay, and dock water is essentially a proportional fraction of freshwater lines on the actual dock water density measured on that particular day. It might change from day to day. The relationship between freshwater lines and dock water lines: this is salt water 1.025, this is dock water 1.015, this is fresh water. Okay, partial dock water applies. So this is one such thing, not very important. Density changes, this is none of our business, but you can go through this. Now, practical application of freshwater lines when a freshwater lines is used. Loading, discharging in rivers. Okay, it is. I'll also talk about discharging and more things. Ship operation in nearly freshwater environment like rivers or lakes where water density is approximately 1.00 ton per meter cube. As I told that the safe limit for a ship to load properly in salt water is the summer load line. Okay, so in freshwater you load to a particular limit. Okay, what you have done in freshwater, you have loaded to a particular limit. As I explained in dock water, you load it to a particular limit. You know, for example, this is the summer load line. You load it to this limit, which is higher than the summer load line. But since you know your ship is going from the salt from the fresh water to salt water, when she goes fresh water, when she goes to salt water, she'll automatically come to the summer load line. She'll rise. So for this purpose, you load, you calculate freshwater lines, how much she'll go up. Also, for example, in salt, you have loaded some cargo. Okay, you have loaded some cargo. Now you are going through a river passage. You know what is the depth of that river. Okay, you know your ship's draft. Now you know when you will be going into fresh water, your ship will sink. Your ship will sink. Now when your ship sinks, the under keel clearance reduces. Okay, so when she sinks, initially in sea water, this was the under keel clearance, but once she sinks, the underwater keel clearance would reduce. The underwater keel clearance will reduce. So for that as well, you think how much should I load so that when I go into river passage, the river passage under keel clearance would not cause any trouble for our ship's navigation or ship's movement. Okay. Also, now this is draft prediction. As I said, maximum limit is summer load line. But if you are not loading to the summer load line, it will help you to determine how much draft will your ship have when she'll go to the salt water. Cargo capacity planning, how much cargo can we load? Okay, calculate how much more cargo can be loaded in fresh water before reaching salt water load line limits. As I said, same thing. Critical understanding. In fresh water, the ship sinks deeper with the same weight. When she later enters sea water, she will rise up slightly. This is the same thing as I said earlier. Now, practical use of dock water lines. When dock water is used, brackish water operations. Ships in dock harbors, estuary where water is neither fully fresh nor fully salt. Density measurement. Density measured with hydrometer shows intermediate values. This is draft correction. This is all the same. As I said, draft correction is what is draft correction. Okay. You know your freshwater from your stability booklet. With the help of that, you will find the dock water lines. Okay, now you have found the dock water lines. Now, with the help of the dock water lines, you can determine the draft of the ship when she goes from the particular port to the sea. Okay, so this is that. Key difference is FWA is maximum difference between salt to full fresh water, and DWA is the specific difference for the actual dog water density on that particular day. That's why as a cadet, when you reach a port, your chief mate will ask you to find the density of the particular port with the help of hydrometer. So this is on-board practice how officers use freshwater at dog water lines. Measure dog water density. I said hydrometer on sample from sea chest or oversight. It is mostly done from oversight, not from sea chest. Read density. Obtain freshwater from hydrostatic data. As I said, that there would be a table through which, with the particular density, particular displacement you have your displacement. Okay, and there will be somewhere freshwater lines. You find out, for example, your displacement is 8,000 tons. You find out dog water, freshwater as 200 millimeters. Okay. Now, with the help of that 220 millimeters, you calculate the dog water lines. Okay. Officer calculate a proportional dog water allowance for measured density. This is done by chief officer, and then you found out the dog water allowance, and with the help of that dog water allowance, you will now determine how much draft your ship have when she'll go to the particular, when she'll be out at sea. Okay. This is generally used when the ship is approaching a port and also when ship is departing from a port. So this was all of it, what freshwater allowance and dog water allowance is. I hope you understood what dog water allowance and what freshwater allowance is. Why do we use freshwater and dog water allowances? If you have any doubt, please mention in the comment box. And also, Merchant Navy Decoded has launched a Decoded package which is generally for cadets who are in college doing BSc and they are and the companies are coming for recruitment. This package will help you to build your theoretical knowledge for theory ready for in placement interviews. This package is for cadets who have completed their BSc or their DNS and they are about to get on board ships. And on board ship there are two aspects. One is the theoretical, one is the practical. Practical, as and when time passes, you will get hold of it. But this package will help you work on your theoretical aspects on board ships. So go on merchantnavydecoded.com and take trial of this Decoded package and find out how good this package is. And this package is coordinated by Captain Arun Gupta. And this is our social media handle on Instagram, YouTube, Telegram. As I said, all our deck courses decoded. On deck courses decoded Telegram, we share daily quizzes. Also, we share fun facts, and the PDF of this lecture I'll be sharing in the deck courses decoded Telegram channel where you can go through whatever I've taken. So, if you like the video, do like this video, share with your friends, and do subscribe to this YouTube channel. And if you have any doubt, do mention in the comment section. We'll be more than happy to help you out. But till then, take care and have a good day.